Hello, welcome to our videocast. Let's get you hired. Today with me, the international mobility expert Agnieszka. Hi, Agnieszka.
Hi, Beata.
Welcome to our meeting. Thank you for your time. And let's get started. Let's get you hired.
We are talking about recruitment process at Capgemini.
Rewrite your future
And join us.
Agnieszka, as far as I know, the recruitment process in Capgemini looks absolutely the same when it comes to Poles and the foreigners, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Those are the same job offers. Those are the same recruitment processes, the same meetings with the recruiter, with potential hiring manager, new manager of the candidate. So the process looks absolutely the same.
Mm-hmm.
There is only one difference. The difference is about the possibility to work in Poland legally.
Okay.
And some of the foreigners, of course, if they come from European Union, they have citizenship of any European Union country, then they can legally work in Poland without any, legalization, immigration documents.
Okay.
So they can start pretty quickly. The biggest difference is, I would say, for the people who do not have the citizenship of any of the European Union countries,
Okay.
because then there are immigration formalities that will have to be done in order for the candidate to be able to work legally in Poland and stay legally in Poland. It may depend, of course, if somebody is already in Poland, maybe they have already some immigration documents that can be used. But if somebody is coming for the first time to Poland, then there will be the work permit or some type of work legalization documents that the employer, Capgemini, would need to apply for. And maybe visa, maybe some other stay document. It depends on the case. We have many different cases, but we also have international mobility team, so the team that I'm leading. And this team is responsible for looking into documents, looking into the case, and advising the foreigner what exactly needs to be done in the case of the specific, candidate, to make sure that everything is legal, to make sure that everything is safe and smooth as much as it's only possible.
Okay, so as I can hear, your team is supporting each foreigner case by case.
Yes, definitely. We look into each case. We focus on everyone, I would say. Of course, then it depends. There are so many different factors. I don't want to get into details here. There are so many different factors that have to be taken into account. But we do advise everyone. And then we also apply for the work permits, what I mentioned, and we help to apply for residency cards for people who base their stay in Poland on the purpose of work.
Okay, so your team is supporting
Yes.
each foreigner applying for a job
Yes.
here in Capgemini, Poland. Sounds great. But from your experience, does the Polish job market is more open in recent years for such candidates?
Yes, I would say so, definitely. The unemployment rates in Poland are very, very low. I believe we and Czech Republic, we have the lowest in European Union. And it's been that way since already a few years. So it's a stable situation. So the employers are looking for candidates and are looking for interesting, talented candidates.
Okay.
Especially one of the interesting points is if you know the foreign language. It might be interesting for your employer. And if you know it very well, like you're maybe a native speaker of French or German or Swedish or any other language, then I think you have a really good asset in your pocket, and you can use it when you're searching for a job.
Okay, speaking about the languages, is the Polish language the main criteria for candidates, for foreigners to apply for a job here in Capgemini?
I would say no. There might be some jobs that require the knowledge of Polish language, especially if you work with, maybe labor code, when you really need to understand the specifics of the language to understand your job and your duties. But most of the time, on most of our jobs, we don't require anyone to speak Polish language.
Okay.
Everyone, however, our common language of communication is English. So everyone speaks English, at least on a communicative level. And when it comes to, for example, the emails that we send, the communication that we send inside the company, we do use Polish and English. So each communication is also in English so that everyone can be included and everyone can understand.
Right. So in fact, no such requirement in
No.
fact, not for majority of the roles.
No.
Okay. For the very end of our discussion, Agnieszka, what kind of initiatives are you organizing with your team here in Capgemini to support foreigners in relocating to Poland?
Okay. So I think that I need to mention that there are initiatives going on the, let's say, governmental level, not only Capgemini level, because it set up the climate, the atmosphere for everything. And also our government is working now on the new legislation. And one of the major points in the immigration strategy for Poland is to help everyone to integrate, to feel comfortable, to understand what they can, do, how they can manage their things, how they can find themselves in a new situation, new culture. And also in Capgemini, we do have such initiatives because it's very important for us that everyone can feel good. And for example, we do have the community that is, it includes, foreigners from all over the world and also Polish people. Everyone can join, everyone can, contribute. And it does organize many different interesting, I would say, events or activities that during which everyone can participate and learn about different cultures, not only Polish culture, but it's, I would say, mix and match of different cultures. And it's about the culture, I would say. It's about everyday life. It's about making sure that, when we have a foreigner colleague in the team, we do not speak Polish. We speak the language which is understandable. It might be English, might be French, whatever the language the team is speaking. And it's about the mutual respect for everyone.
Okay. Sounds perfect. Agnieszka, for the very end of our meeting, what would be the main culture difference that you would advise to take care of for our viewers when it comes to the Polish culture? Yeah.
I would say it's important to know how do you make friends. Because a lot of time it happens that foreigners coming to Poland or to any other country would stay in the maybe groups of foreigners, group of expats. And that's great. That's mutual support. That's perfect. But in the same time, it's good to know how to make friends with the local people as well. Because they are the ones that, can also teach you in the easiest way how to find your way through all the different, formalities or aspects of everyday life. And I would say that Polish people are not very emotionally expressive when it comes to, emotions, showing our states, or maybe we are not really smiling at the first glance, not necessarily. But the way to make friends is to spend time together, is to share your experiences together, maybe talk about the challenges. Maybe talk about this, how did you resolve some challenges or maybe you didn't. Maybe just, share your life experiences. And this is how you can make friends for life.
Wow, great. Agnieszka, thank you very much. It was very interesting. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you for your attendance and feel free to join our video cast next time.